Shoutout!
Before I get into this video, I want to thank you guys for 258 subs. My next goal is 260 subs. Thank you so much. In this video, I'll be going over what really caused Rainbow Six Siege's downfall. The game had its issues with hitbox detection, cheaters, exploits, TDM meta, 1.5 meta, pre-nerfed Lion, Ella Scorpion, Bolo peeking. Whoa. Sure, start from the beginning. Sorry, you're right, intrusive thoughts come shots. For those of you that don't know, Rainbow Six Siege is a 5v5 first-person tactical shooter with destructible environments and a one-shot headshot mechanic that consists of attackers versus a defender side, which each operator has a unique ability. The date is December 1st, 2015. Rainbow Six Siege was released originally on the PC, PS4, and Xbox One. On attack, the operators that initially released were Sludge, Thatcher, Ash, Thermite, Twitch, Montaigne, Glaz, Fuse, Blitz, and IQ. On defense, we got Smoke, Mute, Castle, Pulse, Doc, Rook, Capcan, Tachanka, Jaeger, and Bandit.
I don't need no Molly to be savage.
The first month the game came out, nothing new came out, but there were problems that already became apparent. The first problem was the hitbox. The whole Ash hitbox meme spawned in because of how broken Ash's hitbox was. There are countless videos of her not dying on the internet, even hitting her with a shield, and she still didn't get downed. Another problem that comes to mind is the run out detection. It used to be so inconsistent. Mix that with Bandit and Jaeger ACOG with the entire team spawning together, and you have a recipe for spawn peak galore. Imagine that. Players couldn't even choose where they want to spawn when the game first released. You'd be able to damn near insta-kill somebody if the attacker didn't know where to look. These issues get resolved later down the road. Speaking of which, year one gets spicy. The first year, we got characters such as Frost, Buck, Valkyrie, Blackbeard, Caveira, Capital, Habana, and Echo. Frost had a bear trap, and if you stepped on it, you can only get out if a teammate saves you. Buck had an underbarrel shotgun, Valk had 3 extra cams, Blackbeard had 1 shield but took over 800 damage. That's 3 full mags of an AR and SMG. Caveira had a pistol that did 99 damage and downed people. The players got downed and can get interrogated by Cav, which revealed the attacker's positions. Habana was a hard breacher, and Echo has a drone that can orientate the attackers with a drone. I wonder which operator is the busted one. If you guys didn't guess, it's Blackbeard. The clip shown shows how tanky the shield was at launch, and Cav can basically one-shot an operator. Nerfing her was easy, it was just lowering her pistol damage, but Blackbeard fundamentally was not balanced, which is why his rework came out later down the road, wink wink. With all these busted mechanics, this wasn't the downfall of Siege. The worst was still yet to come. Year 2 came with Mira, Jackal, Ying, Legion, Ella, Dokkaebi, and Vigil. Before I dive into this subject, into this subsection, let me first explain Operation Health. I was there and witnessed how bad the game was because of these exploits and broken mechanics. Operation Health was a much needed season. Because the season focused on the fundamentals of the game, we didn't get a new operator because the devs, Ubisoft, were fixing the bugs, matchmaking, performances, and the game's health, and most importantly, spawn killing and exploits. Damn, y'all remember when ranked used to be in beta? Holy shit, I'm old. At launch, the operators weren't broken, except Ella's kit was busted. Mirror had a one-way mirror that can only be seen by one side. Jackal has the ability to see footsteps and scan the defenders. Ying basically has flash grenades on steroids to blind defenders and sometimes her teammates. Legion has mines when stepped on, can lower her health per tick unless you remove it. And Dokkaebi can call the defenders' phones, and Vigil can basically hide from attackers' drones. Ella was an A-tier defender but wasn't broken. At launch, she was a 3-speed with impacts with a primary weapon called the Scorpion with no recoil. The way she was nerfed was lowering her speed to a 2-speed 2 armor and removed her impacts. And most importantly, they increased her recoil. Year 3 came around, and god, this is arguably the worst. The operators that got released around this time were Finkel, Lion, Alibi, Maestro, Maverick, Clash, Nomad, and Kaid. Finka gave a health boost to herself and team. Lion basically gave the team wall hacks if a defender moved. Alibi, my main, my BBG, has a clone duplicate of herself if Shoutout reveals the attacker's positions. Maestro had an indestructible cam unless shot at when it was open or using ash charges. Maverick hard breached reinforced walls using a torch. Clash was a bitch. Clash has a shield on her back that had electricity. Nomad has air jabs if a defender was near it, would push the defenders and the attacker back, and Kaid was basically banded, while a wall denial, but fat. Fuck this entire season, there were three busted ops this year. It was so bad Lion got banned in Pro League. Like, what the fuck? Starting off with the operator that nearly killed this game is Lion. In a nutshell, if a defender moves, their entire outline is seen for the entire duration. So yes, you could floor bang with a push of a button. As I said before, he was banned in Pro League, and the same applied to the game in general. Clash is the second broken operator from this year. You were able to shoot behind her shield at one point. I don't need to go in further details because the attackers can't fight that. Lastly, Maestro's hipfire. It was busted but not broken. Busted but not broken compared to the other two operators. I felt it was worth mentioning Maestro. I also want to mention before the pocket shield got reworked, there was a shield on defender's head glitch. There was a glitch where defenders could place a shield in their head. Yes, I shit you not. You couldn't shoot the defender's head with this glitch, and it made me quit ranked personally during this time. So combining these broken ops with a fuck-ass Blackbeard 2.0 glitch, it was easy to tell there was a drop-off in the player base around this time. And it's also worth mentioning, I think the IQ invisibility glitch also happened around this time too. So a lot of glitches and exploits. Year 4. Year 4 came with the release of Gridlock, Mazi, Nuk, Warden, Amaru, Goyo, Kali, and Womai. Gridlock deploys tracks that defenders have to shoot out or else they get damaged if stepped on. Mazi has a gadget that steals attackers' drones. Nuk has silent step and can hide from defenders' cams. Warden can see through smoke. Amaru can zipline into any window or hatch. Goyo has fire canisters when shot at, explodes into fire. Kali has a bolt action sniper, and Womai can divert attackers' projectiles and detonate it. Around this year, nothing major happens, just balanced operators. However, the next year gets interesting. Year 5 already. We see the introduction of Ayana, Oryx, Ace, Malusi, Zero, aka Sam Fisher, and Aruni. Lastly, we saw the best thing to happen to R6. Can you guess what it is? No, it's not an operator. No, it's not a new map. It's a fuck-ass scope. Fuck this scope that ruined the game in this time period. 1.5 scope, fuck you, rest in piss, you won't be missed. Ayana makes a clone of herself. Ace is another hard breacher. Malusi places a banshee device that slows attackers. Zera has cams that are two-way angles and can shoot tasers. And lastly, Aruni deploys lasers that can damage attackers and can only be burnt with throwable gadgets. Now in a nutshell, these operators weren't busted. It's just a single added item that nearly caused half of the player base to quit. It was this single scope. Throughout this timeline from 2019 to 2022, there have been nerfs after nerfs after nerf after nerf after nerf. I have to address this now because you will see a trend on where Ubisoft wanted to take the game, but after the introduction of the 1.5 came a bunch of nerfs to gadgets. Because of the post 1.5 era, we were reaching the utility meta, which brings me to the next timeline. Year 6 brought us Flores, Thunderbird, Oso, and Thorn. This is where Ubisoft slowed down on releasing 2 operators a season and just did 1. Flores has a remote-controlled charge drone that blasts defenders' utility when detonated. Thunderbird has Kona stations that heals defenders, also has a clear deployable shield for attackers, and Thorn has Trap that can insta-kill attackers if they get caught lacking. It was around this time where we had peak TDM meta. Operators like Thunderbird and Thorn were created to favor utility. We had seen nerfs to Jaeger's gun reducing the mag size, and the whole swinger be swung mentality was so popular. The charts were shown that operators most picked on defense were the ones with the 1.5 scope. There was a rise on a specific operator that was given the 1.5 scope. For year 7, we got Azumi, Sense, Grim, and Solus. Azumi has Kiba barriers that creates bulletproof barriers. Sense has a projector gadget that rolls after being thrown. Grim has a hive gadget that can locate a defender if they are close to it. And Solus can see attackers, gadgets, drones, and diffusers. This era was during the LMG meta. To mitigate the TDM meta, Ubisoft unintentionally created the LMG meta. With the many nerfs to guns and utility, the LMG hasn't been touched, creating viability in a gunfight. The new season gave us Bravo, Fenrir, Ram, and Tubaru. Bravo has a clutch drone that takes defenders' gadgets and is utilized by attackers. Fenrir has annoying ass F-not mines that obscure attackers' vision. Ram has a boogie drone that destroys soft surfaces, and Tubaru has canisters that slows attackers and freezes utility. My account got banned during this time period because of certain reasons, but when I last played, there was only one banning phase. After all the nerfs and balancing changes, the game felt more balanced. It's just the same shit at this point. 4 operators this year, 2 new ops, 2 reworked ops. Deimos, Scopos, and Recruit got reworked. Deimos can choose his targets on who to 1v1, but must use his pistol. Scopos has a Pantheon shell that can protect the operator. The operator can switch between shields, and recruits basically have more util and more options of which guns they can be used. As we end a pivotal year, the game was taken in a direction where the devs balanced the game but has an identity crisis. What was once a realistic tag shooter became this abysmal sweatfest from bullet holes and spawn peeking ACOGs to a slowed, balanced game that lost its charm. The novelty of the one-shot headshot mechanic eventually lost its touch. Finally, last year, year 10. We're still in year 10, but we got 2 ops at the time of recording this video. We got Rora and Denari. Rora has a panel launcher that is bulletproof and can block off doors, and Denari can trip connectors and slow down the attackers. As we entered year 10, we had a major overhaul. With that came Siege X, from graphical and audio updates to going free to play, and even a new game mode. God, what a way to celebrate a decade of Siege. With a new shitty game mode that no one is ever going to play. After all this time, this is where we ended up. I also wanted to mention that we got a Blackbeard rework with this update too. Still, fuck Blackbeard. As a closing statement, there is a lot to be said about this game. From what was a hidden gem to a shiny turd, it's become a piece of shit, but it's my piece of shit. This game will forever have a special place in my heart. From getting to a casual game with Kickstar to playing with a legit pro from Beast Coast, but now Team Liquid Star Surf, to the early days of learning from my friend that was 2 years older than me and shit on me. I'll never forget you, Michael Kanzler. It's a wild ride seeing this game evolve, but I'm glad I was there to see it. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and until then, I'll see you guys next time.
I think I need you now. I think you need me too.